On the 8th day of semester, my uni gave to me 8 exam questions. I appreciate this video is going up on a Saturday. If you're a student, maybe you're watching this and don't want to think about examinations. However, I am a UK-based physics lecturer and I am thinking about examination coming up questions. So my name's Caroline, by the way, in case we haven't met before. As I said, I lecture here in the UK, so I work and I teach and I research at a UK university. And I've just had my year one semester, well, my year one module has just completed its taught content, and the students obviously have now gone back. The undergraduate students are having their vacation period before returning in January. And when they return, they are greeted with an examination period. So essentially all the things that they studied in the first semester, their modules, they get examined after Christmas. And for the course that I teach on, that means they're going to have an exam that carries 70% worth of the marks. They've already done 2 multiple choice tests that were worth 10% each, and they've done some weekly homeworks that covered for another 10%. So there's 70% left of the module marks up for grabs, and that comes in the form of an exam. So one of my duties as the lecturer is actually setting the examination questions, setting the examination paper, and of course marking it when those results, marking it when those papers come in. I'm not going to talk about marking. My last video was all about marking. So in this one I'm going to focus more on actually the exam paper itself. And so yes, it's quite an interesting thing. Obviously, as the lecturer, you have to set an examination paper that's fair, that's reflective of the course. You need to make sure that you're assessing students on things that we've covered within the course, but also you need to make sure that you can differentiate the class. So you want to be able to give an opportunity for those people who've really grasped the material and can excel in their knowledge and application of it. Give them the chance to show that, but make sure people who've basically understood the core parts of the course are still able to show their knowledge and able to get a pass mark on the module. So yeah, and the whole process actually of writing an examination paper and examination questions, I think this is something that's quite specific to being a university lecturer. Obviously, I guess teachers will be doing it as well. It's not something that I'd done in my career before in industry because, there really wasn't a need to set examination questions. I think I wrote some interview questions once that were technical that they had to do in a kind of a timed handwritten format. But yeah, it's a bit different, obviously, at university writing these exam papers. But what I think is quite interesting is the whole process that the examination paper goes through. There's actually a whole load of checks. There's internal moderation, there's external examiner moderation. When we mark the papers, there's a marking criteria to ensure consistency across the marking. So actually the whole process of preparing and then the students taking and then marking an examination paper at university is a very well thought through kind of structure, I guess. And so when I was a newer academic into the department, that was quite nice to have a process that you could follow that kind of helped you find your feet when you were getting used to this part of being a lecturer. Now, it's a bit different at the moment, so usually our students will go into a large exam hall. They'll get maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours to take the exam, depending on which module they're doing. And they're in there just with their calculator and a formula booklet, I think. But obviously this year it's very different. So because of this horrible pandemic, we've had to move into an open book type format of examination. So again, that means it's going to be different for the students. They don't have to go into an exam hall. They actually get a window of time in which to log in and take the assessment. So they'll get the exam paper, they'll handwrite their answers, and then they'll scan in their answers afterwards. So obviously the students have had to sign on, paperwork and have to obey the university regulations when they're doing these examinations in this particular kind of format. From the marking style of things, I'll still get them a load of exam papers that need to be marked. And I'll still need to turn those around in a fairly short period of time to ensure that all the marking is completed and go on to the necessary kind of check stage before the students then want to come back and start semester 2. So I have, as I said, 8 examination questions related to the module that I've just taught. But I'm really lucky I get to teach this course with a really great professor. So we co-teach the course together. And again, I think that makes things like this so much more fun and easy because you've got somebody else you can talk to about this, somebody else who can go through the process and knows what's going on as well. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. I hope I hope these videos aren't too dry and boring, but I think it's just nice to see kind of some of the activities you get up to as a lecturer that aren't the ones that you would typically think of being like research and standing at the front of the lecture theatre and lecturing. So that is my day today. We're on day 8 of semester, so that's a few more to go until we get to the end. So if you want to find out what the 9th day of semester is, that will be going out on Monday. So please do like and subscribe. Once I get to the 12 days of semester, we're then going to have a bit of an end of year 2020 recap. And then I've got some exciting plans for the channel for 2021. But I'll fill you in on those later once we get towards the end of this uni semester run. So yeah, I hope things are well with you. Keep looking after yourself. I hope if you're celebrating Christmas or you're getting ready to celebrate Christmas, you're enjoying the festive build-up. And I hope to see you here on Monday. Bye.